nothing can stop me. No. 'Cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Lead the way, I follow. No need to say where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all. So tell your good night, 'cause I'll find no matter what. Yeah, susceptible night before the moment flies, before it flies. So tell your good night, 'cause I'll find no matter what. Susceptible night before the moment flies.
All right, guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the Locked In Podcast, episode 98, after a 1-week hiatus where we were supposed to go live last week, but unfortunately we had some unforeseen circumstances which required us to take a week off. I believe that was the first time we actually had a hiatus in the whole 2022 year so far. So it was unfortunate, but we're glad to be back with you guys. We're 2 episodes away from 100, so stay tuned. We got a good one next week. We got a good one for 100, but we're glad to be back on the airwaves with you guys on this beautiful, crisp Thursday evening. As I said, guys, this is episode 98. We're your host for the evening. As always, I'm Steve Ushler on the mic, and joined alongside me on the other end is my co-host and good friend, George Metchai. What's up, bro? Oh, you're actually muted, brother. Here, let me okay.
What's up, man?
Talk now.
What's up? G-Mex in the mix. What's up, bro? Got Steven here. We're about to get it down. Get
Yes,
down
sir.
for the
Yes,
get
sir.
down. 98, bro. Got 2 more.
Big topic tonight. So it's
Yeah.
guys, it's more of a personal development one, but also kind of just going against the norm kind of topic tonight, but it kind of falls within personal development. And we are talking about breaking the rules of society, essentially breaking the rules of social conditioning, which society today, we'll dive into it, but it's tending, a lot of people are tending to be a lot softer today, more sensitive, not just men, but also, I would say a lot of it is men, but also
Could go both ways.
for women as well. It's kind of touchy, but social conditioning, essentially, it's a little bit crazier than ever. We're going to be talking about just
It's more
ways to
crazy than
combat
ever.
it, what it is.
It's crazier than ever.
Yeah, a
Like-
lot of us are just controlled by what we see, what our government kind of preaches to us, and it's a lot of it is a control, it's a manipulation. We're going to talk a little bit about the social conditioning tonight. We're going to talk about breaking the rules, kind of how we can combat this trend that has just kind of overtaken our society, I would say, as a whole today. So we're going to talk about that, guys. We're going to play the intro, and we'll see on the other side. There is a little thing I want to kind of switch up, and George, we don't really have time to talk about this, but every time in the fall comes around, like the last 2 years, I do like a thing. So for all the gents out there, we got the cologne of the evening. George, you remember this one? I did the candle, I would do the scent, the cologne, and so cologne tonight, guys. This is something we have to do. We have Dior Sauvage, guys. This is a phenomenal fragrance. It has a lot of longevity, so it lasts anywhere from 8 to 10 hours. Strong fragrance with a good opening and then a good dry down as well. I highly recommend it. And then also, we have by the Reserve. It's just a black amber tobacco kind of candle for the evening, guys. So we got both of those. But guys, let's get ready to hop into it. We'll play the intro, and we'll see you on the other side. We don't want to waste too much of your time. right, guys, as I said, I don't want to waste too much of your time. Just wanted to kind of play that intro for you guys there as we are now in mid-September. As I said, we're going to be going through episode 98 tonight. And as I stated, we're going to be talking about breaking the trend of
breaking habits,
breaking the trend of social conditioning, because I think it's worse than it's ever been today.
It's a good one.
We're kind of tending to not, especially this is for a lot of men out there for sure. It's just, like I said, this pertains to both men and women, but especially on the men's side, society is kind of tending to, they're promoting softness in men, at least from what I see. And a lot of
they're making it easy to be soft. They're making it okay to be soft. Let's call it for what it is. They want people to be okay to be soft, light, and soft spoken, but in a sense of like you can't even really, really like say what you want to say. He's got to kind of agree with what they say. And if you don't, it's kind of like they look at you like they don't like that and they shut you down.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, exactly. You're calling it exactly for what it is. When you tend to do what they don't want you to do, you tend to get canceled. You tend to get banned,
canceled, booted off, kicked off, and they'll make up lies to try to dirty your name. People love. It's all the trick in the history of humanity of the universe. They love to dirty your name, make you, and I don't mean you, I'm talking about them, like, or even us, like a loose cannon to make it look bad and then to blah, 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 and, to get you out of there. And then they try to, like, put up a story. They did it to Joe Rogan. They try to do it to a lot of people. I mean, Andrew Tate. I mean, a lot of guys. Kevin Samuels at one point, RIP. Other big bloggers.
Yeah, exactly.
They always want to shut down voices, from rappers to spokesmen, people that actually were speaking the truth, they want to shut it down. Remember Tupac back in the day? They want to shut him down. He spoke the truth. They want to shut. They didn't like that shit. Same thing with Eminem. They felt like he was being too,
And who are our big influencers in life, especially in the United States? So I'll particularly talk a little bit about the United States here of how it is. A lot of it is our government. A lot of it is Hollywood, what we see on TV. A lot of different things. They're a big time influencer. The what do they say? They got the political arm with the government, and then you got the entertainment arm on the other side with Hollywood, and a lot of ways that and then you got these social media platforms. You got social media. You got these social media platforms like Facebook. What we use Facebook ourselves. Almost everybody does. YouTube, Instagram. A lot of it is what social conditioning. What it generally is, it's a process of training individuals to respond a certain way that is approved by society. So how does Hollywood approve of something? How does the government approve of something? Social conditioning is it's the trend of where you're essentially trained to respond in a way that is approved. And I think Arnold Schwarzenegger once said that, in order to get where he was, right, and like I'm a big fan of Arnold Schwarzenegger. He said, you need to break the rules, which I think was a great way to kind of put today's topic: breaking the rules and breaking the trend. People
breaking the pattern. Basically, it's never really. Hang on a second. I do understand what you're saying, bro. I feel you. It is breaking the rules, but here's the thing: who made these rules in the first place? And we'll get to that. But who says that these are the right ways of life and rules? These are just some code lines and guidelines of society and. Everybody together, the popular opinion was, oh, let's do this. You should go out there and you should do this and you should, always, do for others and do for this and, trust. And again, they want to coach you or program you to be soft, not to have your own voice, not to be masculine, to be quote unquote a simp, to accept things that are not right. I don't care how it sounds. I'm not saying I agree with that group of people, whatever. I'm going to pray for them. I still, they still are, children of God and all that. But there's some, stuff I don't want to get into. I don't want to get involved in that. I don't want my name in there. I don't want to support it. And it's not it, And don't forget, bro, I've been around, bro. I've, trust me, when it comes to a lot of these things, bro, you know what I mean? I've seen a lot of changes. Back in the day, I used to work at a club, bro. They used to have, a lot of, trust me, bro. When Pride Month was going on, bro, everything gets shut down in that neighborhood, bro. We used to always, appeal to them and all that. It was cool. It was no traffic, no nothing, no, situation. But there's always somebody who take it to the more extent and makes you like, it's like you gotta like it. You don't gotta like it. As long as kind of all right, I can accept that. You cool. You're not being hateful. You can be objective. You know what I mean? But it's not enough. They want you to be more like you gotta like be with them. If not, you're just done. It's like you're against them basically. And it's this machine where it's like they entertain the fuckery of Hollywood, but other stuff like just like let me be men and let kids be kids. And nope, they don't do that. They want to change everything. Everything is too politically correct these days, and it's just this political correct shit is ruining everything. You can be correct and politically, you could be correct without making it seem like politically correct and making a big thing about things. Some things are not always gonna be politically correct. If you're smart enough, you know that okay, it's not like that, but it's for the sake of a movie, a show, things that they are. People got wrong opinions. If you really know what's going on, if you know what's going on, you would actually, educate the masses, not try to frame them. Let's put it that way. Just brainwash them, brain freeze them to thinking that that's how it is. Why should anybody get in trouble for stating a fact, especially on Facebook? But then they put nothing hateful towards it. Well, people don't agree with it, they're upset because the majority. But what are we talking about? I mean, come on, let's be real, man. Facebook and IG is a joke too.
Yeah, the problem is like specifically relating to men is that the way society is conditioning them today, if you don't have strong men in life, like the society would crumble. Because I mean, realistically, you need a strong man to be able to raise. Women can raise a child on their own, right? But here's the thing: if you don't have it, society has shown if you don't have like a strong man as a father figure, it can be damaging later on in that child's life. You need that role in a child's life. So that just not just with childhood, but just anything. Like you need to. You need to have that strong sense of yourself. Honestly, a lot of men, you said it perfectly, are becoming less masculine. They really, really are. They're becoming less masculine today. And that is a problem. That is going to be a serious problem because there's nothing wrong with being in tune with your emotions. There's nothing wrong with sensitivity. But at the same time, that can
overly sensitive.
You could still be in tune with your emotions and be a masculine man. They literally can still go hand in hand. But the problem is like a lot of ways that society is conditioning men to. You see it in commercials, and just how people talk like, take it easy. People will tell you to, you can relax. You don't have to go to the gym. You don't have to do this.
Be comfortable if you're 500 pounds. You're good. Love yourself. How about love myself and I go to the gym and I work out? How about that's what I love myself? I don't love myself.
I'll talk about social conditioning. The way you can compare social conditioning is with families that want you to live a certain way. If you're not a doctor or a lawyer, you're not a success in my eyes. Is it to your child or something? So they want you to follow a trend where like you go to college, you work for the next 45 years of your life, and if you don't do that, you're not like you're not following in line with what society wants you to do.
You're wrong. You're lazy, right? They always label you something different. Like basically, you're saying that you're
a lot of ways they want men to be now. They want men to be soft. You notice this by just we talked about it 2 weeks ago. How they're canceling certain people when certain people speak the absolute truth. So like they don't like that. So what they'll do is they'll spin a narrative, right? They'll put, how like when you're watching how someone talks, but then they spin it by just posting short reels and clips, twisting somebody's words because they don't like the way that person
twisting
talks.
The image. Let's be clear. Let's be really clear in this. Look at you, bro. They're taking snippets. They're editing things. They're clearly editing a certain way, like with Joe Rogan, which we're not gonna go backwards. That was a while ago. I don't got time for that. But they definitely are creating a fake image and a fake narrative. And you just said it. How does it work? Well, very easy on YouTube. You get a video, you take some stuff out of context, something controversial said, but they don't hear what was said right before that, right after. They just that part. They put headlines. Headlines have a way to confuse the human mind. Like close your eyes right now and think of your skull, of your brain. It's like think of your brain like a diagram. Which we see a headline. We see, that's a headline. It evokes an emotion in us. But when we get the real facts to be like, you know what? Maybe you're wrong. And I've been guilty myself of this. Of looking at a headline, being like, oh my God, this person do this. He said this. It's weird. Give you an example. Let me give you an example. It's not related to this, but it's very similar how people can twist small things around and it's got to do sports headlines. There was a Brazilian soccer player by the name of Robinho, great play. He played in Italy for AC Milan a few years. He had a stint in England with, I believe it was Manchester City, if I'm not mistaken. If anybody that watch soccer like me, he knows that. Correct me if I'm wrong. He did an interview once. He said that in Brazil is different. He said in Spain is different. Italy is different because he also played for Real Madrid. He said they treat you great here or there, but it's like your player that come, kind of turning you back and forth. In England, the fans treat you like you're like an absolute star. They love you. He's like, here, they treat me like he said exactly the words, verbatim. Listen up carefully. They treat me like I'm a god in here. And then the headline said, Robinho says, I'm a god in here in England. So it's like, whoa. So he said, I'm a god. What does that mean? People are like, huh? But when you read the interview, he clearly said that, like, no, the people here love me. It's like they treat me different than any other striker that will play in Spain, in the USA, in the MLS, in Italy, in England, treat him good. So he said something, but the headline said, Robinho says, I'm like a god here. I'm like, wow. Hell of a way to, clickbait, pay attention, clickbait, and hell of a way to get things to twist things around for their own good or whatever. Like it's like if I don't know, say like somebody they don't like as much on sport, like Theo was talking, Theo played for the Eagles, and he says something, and the media and the newspapers and all the publications spun around like he says something like that he didn't really mean that, or it wasn't meant that way. It's very easy to look at things out of context when they're said. When you look at a piece of paper, when you look at a screen, everything's run by screens, televisions, and computers and phones. It's three things around the world. There's nothing else. Period. That's what runs the world, bro, other than money, of course. So you see something online, you're like, oh, you didn't read it on the paper. You didn't get the full understanding. You didn't hear the person said there. Yeah, the media is really Man, they're really tricky, man. They're really slick.
That's interesting, man. So it's like, what's your whole thoughts like on? I wanted to just ask you the general question, man. Today is social conditioning, man. What are some things that you see? It's just like whether it be examples in real life, how it's like society's conditioning people. Because I think it's honestly, it's through commercials, it's through multiple things, man. It's just the platforms that people who are speaking, like you see on YouTube, people who have channels and stuff. A lot of it is just it's conformed that I would say it's essentially, how do I put it? Not just making men soft, but it's just negative. It's just negative social conditioning. What are some examples of things you see today, man? That it's like examples of like negative social conditioning? Because I think it's all over. There's a lot of examples.
We could be here for days, bro. Talk about it. We probably need 2 parts to this episode alone to keep it real with you for our audiences watching and listening. I would say that some things possibly consider like social conditioning. It's so many of them. Just the way you think. Just like they want to divide everything. Like it's like you gotta vote for. They want you to vote. If not, you're just a bad person. You can have an opinion. You can think which politician is better than other. Automatically look at you like you're just like a crumb of the earth, a scum of the earth. They're okay. They complain about everything that men are doing, but yet there's stuff on the radio and TikTok. There's songs that the kids should be listening to. They listen to that, but then it's like everything gets twisted around, and they always say like, oh, it's for entertainment values and all that. But then it's a lot of double standards too. It's a lot of like picking and choosing. They pick and choose who can get away with this. Oh, well, you can't do this, or you can't do that, and who can get away with that. If you're a big celebrity, got a lot of like name, you get away with a lot. You get away with a lot.
You really do. Society is it's essentially
another thing. They're making men softer by making it okay to like wear skirts and this and that. And I know some people do not agree with me there. I don't give a fuck. I don't care how they look at it. Skirt on a man is never okay. Okay, I don't care if you're talking about what you're doing in Scotland. They're doing Scotland. This ain't Scotland. It's America. That's how let's start with that. There's an agenda to demasculate men. There's a real agenda. This is a fact. I don't care what people think. There's an agenda to demasculate a strong, powerful black man. Oh, yes, there is. Look at the rap. Look at the movies and all that. Dave Chappelle took 9 years off. He came back stronger than ever. And then years later, like more recently, what happened? We saw what happened. No need to go back and explain. He was tackled, blah blah blah. Some idiot on stage who looks like a UFO tackled them. I am not trying to hear that. Mr. That he did it for his community. He did it, but he's an idiot. What happened? He got beat up. Yeah, okay. Again, making it cool for people to go on stage and assault comedians, assault this and that. Well, because he didn't agree, because Dave Chappelle stood by the fact. He said the truth, but they don't want the truth. They want to twist it and hate the truth. No, we can coexist. It's cool. If you're gay, you're gay. It's okay. I can't say I'm with that. Are you with that? Are people, are with us? But again, if we see a gay guy get beat up, will we jump in? Yeah, I probably would, just to be a good, decent human being. Don't mean that I follow all that trend and all that stuff. I'm not with all that stuff. I'm just not with it like that. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think that men and young boys should be looking at stuff and understanding. Like, let kids, in high school understand about sexuality. About you have health class, you have different classes that teach you that. You even a sex ed, you have all kinds of physical class. There's a lot. Why we gotta watch your commercials on TV and all that? That's number one. Number two, like I said, they don't demasculate a lot of men, bro. A lot of rappers, again, strong black men, what they do, they try to give them conditions. You sell your soul, bro. It's just simple, bro. Either you wear a skirt or you gotta do some kind of weird shit or act like you're, like you're less masculine. I mean, they would never wear skirts back in the early 2000s, late 90s. Now they're wearing skirts and it's cool.
My stance on that is just more so like, like that's a lot of times, like, sexuality isn't really a choice. It's not really a choice. So it's like, I don't have any judgment. I don't have any, no matter who you like, I don't have any judgment on that.
No judgment, bro. It's just the way that they fucking shove everything in your face, man. They do too much.
The whole thing is like men, like you'll see like heterosexual men just act very like soft and fat.
Yeah,
like they don't stand up for themselves, no confidence. One of the things I will tell you is confidence is one of the biggest ones, right? So low self-esteem plays into social conditioning a lot of times. If you're a confident man in society, a lot of times, guess what you're looked at now? You're looked at as arrogant. See, they confuse that guy. There's a big difference between arrogance and confidence. And a lot of times, if you're confident, people will judge you. Will say, "Oh, well, he's fucking arrogant," which is not true, or he's self-centered. Which is when you go after. A lot of times, what I see nowadays is people who are on their grind and on their purpose. They're considered selfish. People call them selfish. Or like, oh, this person. Everybody always has something to say.
They like to hate,
especially with the rise of social media. So that's the thing. We've accepted a lot more. So a lot of times, like mental health, right? The rise to, realizing people's mental health, whereas back 50 years, mental health wasn't looked at as seriously. A lot of men were just considered to be, they tell them just toughen up and who cares about your mental health? Not essentially who cares about your mental health, but like, oh, fuck your feelings, like man up. Right. And now today, people are more aware of their mental health, which is actually, it's actually essentially a good thing. But it's good to find the balance, because I do feel like that men do need to toughen up a lot in today's society, because a lot of them, I'll give you a perfect example, but I'll talk about it in a minute, because I kind of want to stay on this point. I just too off topic and go into like 5 million different directions. But my thing is, like, that is very true today, is that people who are on their grind, on their purpose, who are very confident in what they're doing, a lot of times you get judged for being arrogant, self-centered. Oh, he doesn't make time for me. Like, this person doesn't make time for me. Like, even though you're trying to,
it's a soft world,
great,
bro. It's a soft
or
world.
you're trying to bring your talents or bring something great. Sometimes people just don't understand that. And I think it has risen with social media, the hate, because you can hate just by like commenting on somebody's things. It's crazy. Like today with social media, the ability of hate is so prevalent over the last 20 years, right? Since social media has kind of come on the rise. Is it today? It's just, you can bully people through social media. You can, out of different things.
You can bully them, spread your narrative, and say like, "Oh, this person is cocky, selfish. He's a hater. He hates." People are saying, "You say you're soft, you're arrogant, you're an asshole, you're a villain." Basically, they villainize you, demonize you. He's sexist. He's a homophobe. He hates this. He hates women. Only by stating the facts. Like, for example, how come there'll be a big stink if they made the movie Hustlers all about guys doing that? That'll be huge. But they made it about girls. And Cardi B was in it, and she was drugging dudes and taking their money and doing all kinds of, basically. In so many ways, almost like rapey men. But again, it's looked upon different, I'm like, all right, well, we see the double standards,
Exactly. I have a perfect example of social conditioning. The COVID-19 pandemic is a perfect one.
It's another
2 years ago.
The biggest
so
one.
Here's my whole thing on it. I'm not denying that COVID is not a real thing. I've had a family member who died of COVID. So like COVID is definitely a legitimate, it's a legitimate virus.
It's a legitimate threat. It's a virus. Yeah, correct.
So it's a legitimate virus. But here's the thing. A lot of it, I feel I'm completely right in saying it, was used as a control tactic as well. Propaganda inside this country to control individuals. So although it was a virus, not to be taken lightly, I feel like this was used as propaganda. That's a perfect word, and a control manipulation device from the government. It was a control and manipulation tactic. What happened is a lot of people, right? A lot of people got unemployed, right? Now look what people are doing. A lot of people don't want to work. A lot of people want their unemployment. They want their, like, what was one of the things I was constantly seeing people is like, where's, like, I want my STEMI and things like this. And people would happily take these handouts from the government, not understanding that actually what is really going on.
It's a control mechanism, bro. It's a setup. It's a setup.
It really is. It's a control tactic. The government, like, remember when they're giving out money? Okay, oh, here's some money. Here, don't work. It's essentially it's a control manipulation tactic. What is essentially happening is you're over-reliant on your government. You never ever want to have to rely on anybody. You live in especially if you live here in the United States of America. This is the freest country. It's supposed to be the freest country on earth. A lot of times we're subliminally actually being conditioned in a certain way, and people don't even realize it. But now you see there's so many jobs that are hiring, right? We're in September 2022. A lot of jobs are hiring, and there's still a lot of people that are not working. It's very unfortunate. But yeah, no, and then sense of entitlement I see down here. Yeah, no, it's
entitlement, bro.
That, I feel like people today don't think they need to earn it in life. Like, there's so many people that are just content, and they're born, and it's honestly a lot of times it's not always, but a lot of times it's what you see and what you're around, but a lot of times it's also how you were raised. Like, literally, we are in a society where everybody feels entitled, and entitlement and confidence are a big difference. It's a big difference.
Well, that's the thing, bro. I think we are living literally like, it's like, it's almost like the twilight of the freaking, how things really was, of the sort of like the old school days where everything was cool. You had a friend, you could go somewhere. Yeah, there was phone distractions, but now we're living in a time where it's a distraction. The people don't also know about this. It's social media not only controls your mind, and it can do other things, and society uses that, but it's also a distraction to see what's really important, bro. We're living in times where everything be gone. Writing letters will be a thing of the past. Everybody's gonna do it electronically in a few days. Oh, I'm sorry, in a few years. And I mean, that's cool and all, but let's keep up, some of the old traditions, man. How about good old, ways of doing things, calling somebody, instead of always texting, liking messages, and acting like you don't see it. People will, adapt and use what they got, whatever technology comes a long way, they'll use it for their good or bad, for what they want to use it. How about use it for what's to be right? Like you call me, look, I don't need you to call me 6 hours later. I will personally not answer the call, and I'll be like, boop, reject that. You think you call me 6 hours later, and the time you'll call back? I called you, and I needed to call you. I know shit happens in life, but you're gonna look at my message. Everybody's on their phone, bro. You're gonna say, call me way, way, way after, like a day after, or 2 days later, or it's not important. It don't work that way, bro. And people do what they want to do and act like, oh, I didn't see it, I was busy. But you're on IG all the time. You're looking at messages. You pick and choose when to respond, So don't give me that crap. People do that too, bro. It's again the modern society, and because society, it's giving us a lot of good, but also a lot of bad. With the changes going on with technology, with the way we operate in daily lives. So it's become different, bro. I mean, a lot of things have become a joke, like I said. Double standards. People thinking like you're just you're a bad person. You're like just like this difficult person. You're controversial. They love to use the controversial when in reality, being honest, and it goes against what they're saying. We don't live in an honest world. We live in a very lie of a world, bro. There is the honesty, like if you're a smart person, this is the honest right here, but this is the fake shit. If I want to make it big and get riches, I gotta do the fake shit. It's like Hollywood. When you make it big, you gotta sign, bro. You gotta sign those contracts, and you can make it big to an extent and make a couple G's of a movie, and you live good. And when you retire, you make a couple millions, or you can make it huge, make a lot of millions, but you have skeletons in your closet now. Now you signed the contract. I ain't gonna say too much because they ain't ready for this, but you sold out. You sold out. Let's put it that way. You sold your soul. You fucked up. You get caught up in the limelight, in the BS. Everybody has to be a celebrity. Everybody has to be Insta famous so quickly. They forget what's going on, bro. Yet they're going by the guidelines. Society's trying to trick you. You want to be all cool and all know the cute girls and have followers, be famous, this and that, have a good podcast. Look what we're talking about. Oh, we didn't like the topic. Nope, flag that episode. They flag you right away, shut you down before you can even say nothing. For the smallest thing, the smallest of things. I'm not saying you got to go there, be completely brutally honest, because, it's a very sensitive world, but, let me tell you something, bro. A lot of shows that were going on, like that you might rewatch that are going on back in the day, they couldn't do them now. Too much of a, they made this too much of a politically correct, sensitive world where everything gets offensive. I get it. It's sensitive, but don't mean we can't watch it. What's next? Don't make a movie about Titanic because it's sensitive. We know what happened. The ship hit the fucking iceberg. It sank. People died. It's a shame. They want to make a movie because they want to know a story. They want to watch the movies. Before you know, it's going to be like, no, it's too sensitive. Don't make movies about World 2. It's too sensitive. Well, I mean, history is not supposed to be unsensitive. At the end of the day, world is tough. Trust me, it's hard sometimes watching stuff like that. Even now, sometimes watching like, it's a shame. It's so hard to watch very vivid graphic videos, movies, but you can't be that sensitive. You gotta have a little tough stomach. You gotta have a grain of salt when you watch it. You can't jump the gun. I see people online on TV. Yo, this guy is so bad. He's such an asshole. He's so racist. Good. What a scumbag, narcissist, polygamous guy. No, he wasn't a narcissist or a polygamous guy. He just spoke the truth, and he said a few things that people didn't want to hear because people made it okay not to hear those things. It's okay for, people not to work and stay home and not go to the gym and be lazy and have a lazy, shitty-ass lifestyle, to tell the kids, watch your tablet all day. But what are kids learning, What are adult learning? Is adult going out, getting air, getting exercise, walking, learning things? Again, bro, tablets and even podcasts and social media could be good or bad. People are just using it for the lazy reasons, just for like entertainment bullshit,
Yeah.
Use
so
it
I just want
money.
while you have a little bit of time, I just want to dive into before you have to essentially leave. Just
10 minutes.
a little bit of ways to how you can combat social conditioning, because I think this is a big one. I think one of the biggest ones is to question things. Question things, no matter how something. When authority tells you to do something, question things. Always think for yourself, because that's the thing. That's essentially what social conditioning is we're seeing certain things of how we're supposed to behave, to be good little boys and be like this and follow in line and do this. Question
the opposite
things.
of thinking outside the box, bro. This is the thinking outside the box episode. They don't want you to think outside the box. Let's be clear on this.
Win the box. They want to keep you in the box. Sit you down and put you right in the box. That's what they want. They want you in the square. They don't want you to go outside of it. Because guess what? That becomes a dangerous person. Not in a bad way. It becomes a dangerous person to think for yourself. Essentially,
they don't want you guys to be enlightened, bro. They don't want anybody to be enlightened. That's why they ban a lot of things. But go ahead. You got the floor.
Yeah, and I essentially challenge you, even if you cherish a certain way of thinking, say like things are working out for you when you're following a certain path, still question it. Honestly, sit down and question it. Don't just do things to do it. Like take to the box and realistically think, Is what I'm doing beneficial to me? Because a lot of times, we just do things and we're not happy with it. I always hear so many people like they say like, oh, they hate their job or they. And here's the thing, like you
They
might
hate their
have
life, they hate their job, they hate their wife, they hate their marriage, they hate things are going. But yet they're stuck in a thing. I'm like, what if you hate it? Why are you doing it to yourself? If you
well, what
love
are you realistically doing to change things? So I know I have a
exactly.
example. I know someone right now that's working a job. I'm not going to say what his profession is, but he makes a decent money. He's got good government benefits. He has a home and a child right now, and he's in a situation where all of a sudden he hates his boss. He can't stand his job, but he's in a situation where he's doing. Like, although he makes a good salary and he has that home now and has that child, he essentially needs to find something that's going to still make him that money. But he has options. Like, he's like, okay, now he's applying and he's taking action to do something else. He still needs to, I want to keep this roof over my family's head, and I'm raising he has a son, and they actually have a daughter on the way too. And he's essentially in a situation, but he's not trapped by it because I live like literally. There's tons of spots hiring. You just got to do the work. After you come home after a long day, you have to. You have your child at home. You have your wife at home.
You should apply.
But still, you have to find that little bit of time to still go and look at other jobs. You have to find the time.
I got something to say, bro. I want to ask you something. I got a question. I'm raising my hand. I got a question. Pick me, teacher. Look, check this out, bro. You know about right. Do you know about that? Because you just mentioned it. And I'm glad you brought it up. And I could tell you a story about this too, and I'll get to it because I don't got too much time. But the typical thing, bro, of like when you were like you got a job that you hate, so it's like you got to dig that job a grave. Well, the whole time you are in a grave because you're a job you don't like. It's like being in hell in a way. So you work in a job, you go home, you're looking for another job the whole time. Keep it hush hush. Nothing. When the time comes, you get another job. You gladly and you relieve yourself. You leave the job to the next better job. But the whole time you don't tell nobody. You definitely tell people at your other job. You stay at the job, and the whole time you're working there, you put in the sacrifice, the hours, the time, you're working, everything's good, you get home, you're not happy. So what you're doing is you look at the jobs, and when the deal's almost finalized, that's when you make it public and you go, you say, you know what, forget this job. You don't gotta say fuck this job, just say like, I'm good. Show class, don't be like, as much as you don't say fuck this job, like fuck you, you're cool, fuck you, I quit. Just be like, yeah, it's been nice to know you guys, I ain't gonna miss a lot of you guys and out. Bro, I left the job that I was there for almost 9 years of my life that I did not like. You know what I'm talking about. I don't know how to spell it out. But my last day there, I did. I said hi to everybody. I walked. People did give me shit through the years. They were just assholes to me. Whatever, I showed myself my class. So you know what I did? I walked around the perimeter because I spent 8.5 years of my life there. I had to kind of see the last walk, just to kind of like see what it meant to me to be there. Sometimes, I'm a spiritual person too. I got to be my own, see what's up. And although I feel like I learned at the job, it wasn't right for me. But, at the end of the day, it shaped me, helped me go to better jobs. And I left like you should, bro, right in. Looking for other jobs on the side while you're being there. Now, did I stay there a little long? Sure. But did I learn too? And was it worth it in the end? Yeah, sure. Absolutely was. So that's how it is, bro. And it reminds me, I was reading the book, the Mobb Deep's book, from Prodigy. And he said something interesting. He said, we were stuck in a label situation, a contract after 2001. I think 2002 briefly. They were in like I forgot the label name, maybe Sony or something like that. And it wasn't loud because they were on loud, Wu-Tang Clan. And Prodigy said that like the whole time we hate it here. Me and Havoc want to get out of here. So what we did is we kind of hung it tight there, acted like we liked being there, but the whole time it was like a hell for us, like a jail. Recorded 2 albums on a contract to get the fuck out of the contract, and then we're free agents. Fast, forward to 2003, said we made a mixtape, they were gone, and they're looking for other jobs, other labels the whole time. And this is in 2003, where there was no independent labels. Now everybody can be independent, artists can make more money, being free, because the labels are trapped too. But that's another topic. But that's kind of what it is. It's a job. If you're a rapper, an artist, the label controls a lot of you. So what you do is you make moves quietly. If you're smart, it's business to get the fuck out of there. Jay-Z did it eventually. He became the owner. He actually was the president for a little bit. Then, he owned the label. Then he left. He got Rock Nation. So I say this to say this, that the whole time you have a job, you something going on, do something else. If you feel like society's holding you down, you got to abide by those rules. If you, quote unquote, grabbed on them, a slave of their situation, you do your thing, dog. And when the time comes, you rise and you become a king and you leave. You are not staying. You got to know your worth, bro. Society will never have you, live to your full potential. How can they do that when they fucking give you dumbass guidelines? Everything got to be a certain way. Not society's rules don't apply to everyone, but they want to make it like for everyone. Like, I get it. There's got to be some rules to, there's rules we all agree with, that are cool for society. I'm not saying society's all wrong, but there's a lot of limits they give us that we don't agree with, and how to break the tide. It's, the whole topic was how to change that. I'm not saying that some society rules are not good, but usually society gives a lot of stuff that it doesn't benefit somebody else. It might work for this guy. It don't work for me, you, this other guy. It don't work for Marius, Dylan, Rich, but he works for somebody else. He works for Ernesto, but he don't work for George. He works for Nate. He don't work for Steve. That's how it is.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, that's yeah. No, and one of the biggest like key things, as I said, is like I would just it's free thinking. That's what it comes down to. Free thinking. Take control of your own life. Don't let others. Stop letting other people dictate your own life. So a lot of people have parents. Even if they don't live under the roof, they still have their parents in their ear, telling them certain things and dictating how they live. Stop allowing other people to dictate your life. If you're a grown man or woman, you need to take responsibility. And guess what? That can be scary because guess why? Because you essentially have to make your own decisions. You have to make your own life decisions, and a lot of times you have to use your mind. A lot of times it's easier to put the burden on somebody else to think for you. Stop allowing people to do that. That's what comes with breaking social conditioning.
People get caught up in social media too much. One example, someone's activity, how long? Okay, yeah. No, sorry, I was doing a comment, but yeah, it's a fact. People get caught up too much on what this person say. Oh, I'm so excited. You can post something small, bro. They'll start asking you, oh, is this? This is you? Is it true? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, nah, what's the picture? But what do you expect? Social media could paint a picture. It could definitely trick somebody. You take a picture with a nice Benz. It could be your friend's Benz that you just saw it there. They're like, congratulations, Mr. George. When did you buy a Benz? I didn't buy one yet, but I'm going to buy one in 2 years. Like, they assume, you know what I mean? They assume. And again, society just, changed a lot of things.
Yeah, we've done episodes here. Don't always believe what you see on social media. It's literally a timeline of it's literally all it is it's, how do I like to put it, a highlight reel of somebody's life. It's a window into a highlight reel. Nobody puts bad things that happen to them on social media. So don't always believe what you see. And a lot of times that's another thing right there. Social conditioning and conforming to society. What we see on social media,
being accepted.
Social media, it honestly, a lot of times what it does is it lowers your self-esteem because you're seeing how somebody else is acting, even though you really don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
You don't know the ins and outs. Yeah, you don't know the ins and outs.
You see it, and then and guess what? It builds low self-esteem in you, and people see how certain people, they think that's how you're supposed to act.
Do you want me to say this in 2 words in layman's? I do gotta go soon. I'll stay about 41. It's 39 right now. Yo, social media is an illusion. It's just the power of illusion. We go to a party, we go to a chicks, there's a nice little place on top of the building. The one girl takes a picture like this, doesn't put no guys in the picture because of course she don't want to be seen with other guys, although a guy brought her there. There's no picture, posting up wall, everybody's like, wow, so beautiful. Then here goes the eye emojis, the heart emojis, the fire, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's cool and all that, and you were there, you're like, oh, I saw it. It was just at a building, assembly building. We were just there. I mean, it was nothing. But somebody else might think, yo, he's in New York, he's overseas. They'll think you're in the Burj Khalifa in Abu Dhabi, but you're just downtown Philly. That's what it is. Social media can control things, like how you post, how you can, how you show people, and you can, trick people too, you know what I mean? But again, don't let society think because people are on social media doing well and people comparing lives. Now you gotta be like, yo, I gotta be like such and such. Be greatest at his age, finish college. Why should you even go to college? You can go to trade school, if not college, and do well for yourself. You see what I'm saying? But they'll say a college or you gotta do something. Then they'll be like, oh, settle down, get this person, get married. Well, settle down when you settle down. Not when they tell you to, or they think you should settle down by now because you're 32, 31, 33, 30, and that's when your life really starts. You gotta, get acquainted with things in life. Explore, see where you stand, learn more about yourself. You can never stop learning about yourself. I'm not saying you should get married very late if you do want to get married, if you subscribe to that theory, but don't get married too soon too because they think you should get married soon in society, and you see on social media, like the internet, gossip, people talking, celebrity gossip is telling you, oh, it's the time. So what? If Kim and Kanye get married again, watch now, this girl's gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna get married again. Because they follow the Kardashians, they follow social media,
That's the problem.
Nothing against the Kardashians, bro. Shout out to the Kardashians, but I'm just saying, don't follow everybody else. I need to follow a rich family of hot girls to be like, well, I gotta do this, I can follow my own mind, I mean, all the Kardashian sisters are beautiful, but then again, they're rich. We're not on their level, so we can't think like how they think because that's the thing. People think they're all celebrities in their own world, and it takes time to, get there. So focus on you. I think it's the most important thing, and kind of let society just kind of dictate it, do talk, and just ask questions. Sometimes you're gonna go with it, sometimes you're not. That's
exactly. That's a great point you made, though. It's like a lot of people try to follow with their celebrity idol.
Idols. Their idol, their icon, their idol, their role model, their hero, my idol. My idol's a little different, but you gotta be thinking for yourself. Be influenced, but still have your own mind. You can still like Kim Kardashian. You might agree with what she did, but highlight the good stuff she does, and just don't be so materialistic. For example, I'm not taking that as a huge example. Don't get caught up so much in this person shots fired at this person. But again, now it's a good time, bro, to be to to be bad. If you're a woman, it's cool to be bad. If you're a guy, it's okay to be a simp. And when you're trying to have balls and stand for yourself, you're bad. You're an a-hole. This and that. When you're just like a typical douchebag, street asshole, mother effer, a motherfucker. Let's say it for what it is. This is unfiltered anyway. Oh, you're cool now. Oh, well, he's like a bad boy. I like him. Yeah. You nothing to offer, but they like him. That's just how it is a little bit. It's small little phenomena like that. Definitely got a lot going on, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
Somebody very nice, bro. You see them all the time, they get rid of you. They get tired of you. You don't see them as much. They want to talk to you, see you more. You start explaining words put out there. Nah, that's not true. They want to deny it. If you don't stand with it, you're the bad one. Now, guess what happens now? You lost 3 friends on Facebook.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Like, it comes to a confidence thing, though. When you're overly nice, that's usually
people are really like weird at that. Go ahead and delete me, though. I don't give a fuck about having. I actually got to clear people on Facebook anyway. And I always stated that. Remember, bro? Don't forget, bro. After all, they're trying to cancel me 6 times. I've been saying that in a couple episodes. So I know what I'm talking about. They tried to cancel me 6 times, bro. Between 2018, and now 2017 maybe. And they did cancel me. I would post the stuff, and you'd spark a lot of controversy, and people would just love to jump on my statuses. Lucky I didn't delete some of their asses.
The overwhelming majority doesn't like when you speak your mind and speaks the truth. I'll tell you right now, like they just don't. Society does not favor you if you speak your mind and speak the truth.
Yeah. Not at all. And you said, like I said, the overwhelming majority. They overwhelm you. They'll attack you at once. Make it seem like you have no substantial, like you have no balance. But when you stand your ground, then you don't back up. No, I'm not backtrapping. I don't back pedal. I learned how to ride a bike only going forward, not backwards. I don't back pedal. Sorry. That's just what it is. Sorry, dog.
I'd rather die standing for something and following and conforming to what everything else tells you to do.
I'd rather die and fall on my feet when I'm standing for something than fall for anything and don't stand for nothing. Like you said, fall for the bullshit, the confinements, the limitations, think this way. How you gonna tell me how to think? But what are we talking about? There's ways, bro. They're doing things, man, where like people can get literally government got chips and all that in your hand and all that. They can read your mind, man. That's in the future to come.
That's why I think it's essential to have people inside your group, inside your circle that all think differently. So I mean, you're gonna have like interests and common interests inside your group, and if you say you're in
other words, bro, hang out with a Bill, don't hang out with a Heath. It's what you're trying to say. I get it.
Oh jeez.
I get it. I
got you. Well, I got you. But essentially, you want people that have different ways of thinking. You might have similar interests and common goals, but the thing is, like, different ways of thinking. Because guess what? You can see different views, different perspectives, different points.
The perspective, it's a good one. Yeah.
And it kind of makes you question your own line of thinking. Yeah,
it's good to stay open-minded, bro.
It really is. It really is. There's nothing wrong with staying open-minded. Open-minded, I would say, is the way you actually want to be. I mean, why would you want to be closed-minded? There's no benefit to being closed-minded.
We're stuck in your ways.
No, and that's the thing. It's like, and then you go your life living a certain closed-minded way, then it becomes too late at a certain point. It becomes too late. It's very difficult to change your line of thinking the longer you're in that specific line of thinking. So guys, essentially break the rules, question things. Don't always listen to what society is telling you to do, what you're seeing on TV, everything, how they want you to be. Don't listen to the conditioning. Break the fucking rules. Literally, think for yourself. Question things religiously. Question things. Always question things. Don't just do shit for the purpose of doing it because somebody's telling you to do it. Like, you don't have to sit there and be a dick and just be like, oh, well, why are you telling me this? But literally, just take the time to kind of step outside the box and kind of question. Be like, what's the overall purpose that I'm doing this? Like, what is going to happen if I do this? Or maybe of doing this, it's always question things. I think that's the main moral here. Break the rules, but question things. Oh, you're muted, bro. Can't hear you. Bro. Can't hear you, bro. Can't hear you, bro.
There we go.
All right, I hear you now. I hear you.
You can hear me, right?
Yeah, I hear you now.
I was saying, it's good to kind of like question things like that, bro, and have like a sense of like stay calm and just see things where they are, bro. I mean, sometimes people that are quiet but think it on, they watch everything and then they act. Those are the most, like the most so how can I say what's the word I'm looking for? Those are the real winners, the guys that really kind of like take it there and are able to the successful ones, because you see a lot of things. What's the point of arguing, putting statuses, expressing your opinion or disapproval? Sometimes you gotta just like you said, act and do it. When you have the power to change something, you do it how you want to do it. Like I said, censorship, and how to tie this up with censorship. Social media controls all that, and media in general, and the government, and controls these mediums, corporations. So it's society at the end of the day. So the government makes it like the societies connected with the government, which in turn connects to the internet and everything else. If you speak the truth, they don't like what you're speaking, they will shut your platform down. They'll shut your email, not your email, your website. So again, essentially, it comes down to like be neutral as much as you can, but speak the truth. But when you speak too much truth, it become too big and too many voices hear you. Oh yeah, then they'll look for you to they'll send those little little minions, little loan sharks, if you will, to look like, oh, what can we do here? Let's poke up. Oh, he's doing this. Like they made up a lie about, well, we don't know, allegedly, but about Andrew Tate.
Yeah, exactly. They spin it away. They also don't like you speaking truth. That's plain and simple.
Nothing of nothing. So, but yeah, that's one thing.
I said we can probably get ready to wrap. I know you gotta go, so like, why don't we just take the next couple minutes, man, to like kind of wrap it here, man.
Stay one more minute, but I gotta.
We're at the 50-minute mark. Guys, if you're watching rebroadcast, I knew a couple of people that said they were going to be watching the rebroadcast tonight. For those people, anybody else that's watching after the fact, if you haven't already commented, just feel free to comment down below your thoughts, because I'm very, very curious to hear what people think about this, because the overwhelming majority
some opinions,
are conditioned to think a certain way. But guys, this was episode 98. It was kind of put together on the fly, but this is something that we had talked about a little bit. We probably also touched on this. I'm gonna be honest, and press some or other personal development episodes, but we didn't really ever dedicate a full episode to this. So that's why we essentially were like, this would be a good topic to cover.
Yeah,
but next week's episode is going to be interesting, and so is episode 100 in 2 weeks. It is going to be more of a celebration. Yeah. 100 is essentially going to be a celebration. We're going to try to have all the previous guests that have been on this podcast.
It's like an anniversary of all the guests.
Yeah, this is going to be an exciting one. So if anybody who's watching this out there has already been on, you can probably expect a message from either me or George, because we're going to be inviting you on if you're able to make it. That'll be in 2 weeks. That'll be episode 100, because we're at 98 now. And next week we are going to be doing episode 99. Which I'll give you the heads up now before we even actually do the promotion. It is going to be the topic when we get to it. We know what the topic is, but we don't want to spoil the topic for you. But I am going to let you know that it is going to be an After Hours episode. So if you guys remember, a couple months ago, we did our first ever After Hours episode, which o'clock at night. We're going to be doing. This is going to be an in-depth, juicy topic. It's going to be a little risque. So I don't want to say risque. I want to say it's going to be something that's going to kind of it's going to be interesting. It's going to be that's why we're doing it like an After Hours one. It's going to be a little bit more against the grain. It's going to be a touchy topic. It's going to be After Hours, but it's going to be our second one. We'll probably do it around the same time, around 9 o'clock. We'll confirm when we talk to everybody, but we're going to have different guests on. It's going to be exciting. That's 99 next week. Then we got 100 in 2 weeks. So the next 2 weeks, we got a lot of exciting stuff. And 101, as George said, another one that's going to be really, really fire as well. George, you're can't hear you. Got you now. Oh, no, can't hear you. I'll just unplug it if you.
No, why I keeps doing it.
I hear you now.
It's gonna be going, but it's gonna be a good season, bro. A good, definitely good fall season with football and all that. We have a lot to talk about. Obviously, we're not gonna just do about sports or football, but we're gonna have some good episodes and some big guests coming up. And as well, as always, definitely we're out there trying to set something up, guys. And of course, we're gonna have a couple meetings, including the monthly meeting. But like Steve just said earlier, 99 is coming up After Hours. 100 is gonna be the big one. 100. I put in a poster today that we're 2 away, and I said it earlier. And after that, 101 is kind of still set, and so after 102, that's what we're gonna focus on new ones coming up, guys. But yeah, it's a milestone, so we're very, very content, very happy. We've been doing this for a while. The 100-year mark would have been literally on the 2-year anniversary. We just passed as well. We didn't really say that because we skipped a week, but kind of like big ups to us for doing 2 years as far as like the podcast, and then we're about to hit 100. So 2 milestones, 2 years on the air and airways, and about to hit 100 episodes. That's a good one. What else want to say before I leave? was gonna say we might be getting some like a guest coming up in a few weeks, but we might have one of those days where we bring some people in as well, guys. And also, I got some good feedback as far as the giveaways. People were happy about the giveaways that we had, so that was a good one. The ones that we did like just now towards the end of the summer, so they were also good. And I also want to say rest in peace to PNB Rock. Philly's own PNB Rock was killed a few days ago in L.A. Robbed at a Waffle House, I believe it was, something like that, with his girlfriend.
Yeah, Roscoe's.
So that kind of like crazy topic. We can actually talk about this stuff maybe another time, but about the violence of rappers and all that. Definitely about the PNB thing. Maybe not next week, or we could probably mention that. You know what I mean? Because we have some topics set up. Like 100 probably would be a little different, but
Don't put
maybe
your
next week after hours. After obviously we could talk about that a little as well. And we have our own topic for 99. But yeah, just that. And right there near my job, bro, there's a little thing on the wall there, like like the little they have a time and the letters that come in there. That rest in peace, PNB Rock in green, like right there, like I think it's like where a Club Egypt used to be at. I think it's called Sky Garden now, right on the corner, like right there on Rising Sun.
Okay.
And Delaware Ave. Yeah, I drove by there yesterday. It was kind of I was interested. I was like, oh, I seen it. I was like, oh, interesting. They had on the wall that rest in peace, PNB Rock, which I'm not surprised. I mean, well, the colors like this is like on a billboard. I mean, not on a billboard, on a this little tablet thing, and then it goes like this. It kind of goes and comes, the letters, the lights and all that. So they had, little PNB Rock shout out there, rest in peace. A Philly guy, and it sucks that he was from Philly. So, and a pretty good rapper. We actually played some of his music in the past. So, I see him in America too. He was there once in Made in America.
Yeah. Rest in peace, PNB Rock. I think one of the biggest, lessons you can learn there is don't put your location live on global. Because guess what?
Just put it when you're leaving. Put it as you're about to leave. They'll never catch you. If you're like literally about to leave and you put it when you're going to a car, but if you put it in there, you're still there, you're waiting, they can come and scout you out. I mean, they can plot on you, but people plot out here. No one's perfect. LA is a very dangerous city. Trust me. They want to say it. The Game said it. Dr. Dre said it. Snoop said it. Ice-T said it. LA is a tough town, So when you go to LA, be careful. I was out there last year, bro. Trust me, it's not easy out there. It looks nice, but it's a lot harder than it looks.
Sad, man. It's a shame.
Yeah.
Gotta be careful.
But all right, bro. If you want to finish up with a few more minutes, I actually got to get going. But it's been a good episode so far. Lovely stuff. Definitely a very good topic. A very necessary topic.
Yeah, I'm gonna wrap up here too, man. Because we're almost at the hour mark here. We're at 55 minutes. But guys, as always, like, comment, subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, smash the like button. Facebook, same thing button. If you're not already subscribed on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. And hit the notification button so our notifications on because we release episodes every single week. You don't want to miss it. If you're watching the rebroadcast, comment your thoughts down below. We still always like to go back even after the fact and acknowledge the comments. So, where we get notifications, we'll acknowledge your comments. Right. Thank you to everybody that commented in tonight. I know Desiree commented in. Thanks, Desiree thanks Desi for commenting in. I'm not sure. Do you know who Hempley Life is on YouTube? I'm not sure who that is. But whoever that is, thank you for commenting as well. It might be somebody.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the comments tonight, guys. We're excited for the next 2 weeks, guys. We'll see you. Yeah.
All right, bro. Have a good weekend. I will talk to you soon. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in episode 99. Steve, you can just go ahead and finish the last one. But it was a great time, bro. Definitely good topic. Solid episode. And we'll be back in touch soon. And we'll be here next Thursday for after hours. But it's going to be after hours, after 9.
Let's go.
Later.
All right, man. Later. All right, guys. I'll wrap up here too. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. We'll see you guys next Thursday for, like George said, for episode 99 of the podcast, 2 away from 100. I'm excited for this one because we are going to have a boatload, a multitude, whatever word you want to put there, of guests coming on. There's going to be a little bit of it's going to be a touch in depth, and I think it's going to be very entertaining for you guys as well. So I am excited for that. And then 100 in 2 weeks, it's going to be a little bit of a party. So that one's going to be exciting as well. And episode 101, we got a very, very big guest coming on. So excited for that one as well. Guys, without further ado, I hope you all have a blessed, safe, great weekend. And we will see you next week for 99. It's been a Locked In Podcast production. It's 2022, guys. Be true and be you. Have a great night, great weekend. We'll see you next week. Peace.